Now, as you can see, it's still a twin disc. This is the first time I'm seeing it. I'm just getting it back today after several failures. But it's actually only one spline through there instead of two. It looks like they riveted them together. And it's definitely just one disc. Not sure if I got some footage I can show you or pictures, but I'll put them in right now. As you can see right here, this is typically the way you see a twin disc, when they're two separate discs, two different splines. Ours is now one. And this actually sits on the flywheel. I haven't bolted it down yet, but this don't seem like this is going to interfere on nothing. It looks like it'll sit right in here. This looks like it's where it's going to sit. It looks like it'll be fine. I'm thinking those stay in there. If I'm wrong, I'll call them in the morning and find out. And I'll tear it back apart, but I'm only going to at least put the transmission up in there if it fits. Hopefully. Okay, so you definitely let the screws in. I got that confirmed. And we have, I don't know, it's hard to show you guys, but we got enough air gap. They're happy with that. So that's good. And the good thing here is, take this, goes right in, comes right out. What we ended up doing was machining the whole clutch pack, and then the last time they put that hub in there is one, and that seems to work golden. I think we're good now. So now the key is to see if the transmission will slip on. If it slips on, we're good. I'm gonna pull this back off. I gotta pull the torque converter bolts, or torque converter, wow, can't even speak. Flywheel bolts, and then torque them down to the 96 foot-pounds. So we'll do that, and then we'll put these all on. And what you do with that is you torque all these to 20, like a star pattern, and then you pull one out in a star pattern at a time, and you put Loctite on it and put it back in and do 20 foot-pounds again on it. And what that does is keeps it from any Loctite really getting in behind there, getting on the disc, contaminating them. See a little thing right there. So there we go. When we get to work here, see where we're at. Here, I think it's gonna work this time because we got everything else working and lining up. And it's set up like a single disc now. Yep, there we go. Like you should. See how it's sealed up? Everything's good. A fitting that's going to go from here to here, I'll show you after a bit. So that's going to work out good for us. I'm going to continue using the hard line here. All right, finally. All right, everybody. Clutch line's on. Clutch is in, transmission's on. Putting the front mount here in right now. Gonna put the bottom bell housing bolts in, but figure I'd just do a little quick update where we're at, and starting to move along here. So we got most of the parts. There's still some stuff we needed to get, but waiting on the clutch masters ever since February 30th. We've been having this issue since February 30th. And so it's been a minute, and didn't have a lot of motivation to try to figure out everything else whenever you couldn't even put the transmission on. So, and you couldn't figure out a lot of stuff, what you needed and what you didn't. So we didn't get some of the stuff. Main thing is trying to figure out a radiator to use. One we used last year has got a little bit of a leak in it. I never had any heating issues with it. If I have to, I might use it just to get this thing up and running and moving back and forth and see how it does, you know what I mean? Some stuff we're gonna do to it just to get it going for right now. That's not gonna be permanent for the year, you know, so we're gonna get some stuff together and make sure this transmission works flawlessly and the clutch works flawlessly. That's really our main concern right now. I think we're just going to put the OEM axles back in this. We have the DSS axles, 1000 horsepower axles. If you don't remember about that, you can check out one of the old videos with that in there. And we're going to end up installing those as well, but I got a pretty good feeling that those are actually a little too long. I mean, I measured them, but I don't think they made it quite what my measurements were, because they look a lot longer than OEM. But we will see. I do know for a fact that everything works in the transmission end, so that's good. And the ends are correct with the 36 millimeter spline. So everything would need to be done would be the shafts shortened. So everything else would be good. So I'm not sure how long they're going to take, probably a minute. But that's fine. We get it running, then we can, you know, get to that step. But one step at a time on what we're going to do here. And I'm going to get back to work. I'll update you guys as I'm going.
Look at it. We got a little bit done here. I'm going to turn the light on here. We got the alternator back up front again. So you can see everything clears. Pretty tight, but it works. And that's what matters. It allows you to... Ugh. You can see it plugs in there, and the black box sits right in behind here where the alternator goes on, and then we're able to tuck it in behind. And we got a little extra even here sticking out, so the red goes here now, so I'm going to pull it in behind, just put it right there. That'll be fine. We used to have it going to the back for the alternator relocation kit, and then our bracket was busted when I took it off, and I totally forgot about that. But I wanted to put this back up front for the simple fact is the more weight we can get up here, the better. There's no use in having that weight back there, so we put it back up front here. That'll kind of help with the battery, in my opinion, because your battery sits up here. This is leased over here. Need to get the battery down like the alternator, which I'm not sure if we have any room here. Yeah, we could probably get this pipe moved out. Come out with it. Move the pipe out a little farther, and that would give us room to put something right there. But at the same time, I like to make a traction bar and have it go through there. So, weight plate probably in the front here. It's probably where we'd have the battery sitting behind the bar. That's what I'm thinking when we get the weight plate on. Have it tucked and down in there, and basically the wires will almost reach, you know, we don't even have to extend them. So, that wouldn't be bad. Linkage is all hooked up, starter's all hooked up. We're running gonna pull some stuff off the daily to get this car going for a little bit. And that's gonna be basically pulling the injectors for this, the ECU, and the fuel pump back out of it. And then get this going. I'm gonna make a race. I'm gonna race it a little bit, maybe a month or so, month and a half. I gotta save up some money to get the Megasquirt 2 put in here, and I think it might be wired wrong, so we might end up having to pay to get someone just to wire it. I'm basically over that. So let somebody else do that, get it tuned at the same spot, and see what we make on power-wise. Hopefully we make some pretty good power, because we got everything here to make it. Then we'll put this back on. I'm actually going to start it with this turbo on. We're going to end up having to put the 5431 over on it, so we can make this race, because we don't have any launch control with the old ECU. But this allows us to get it started, make sure everything's good, make sure the engine's good, give it a good warm cycle, put some different oil in it. I got some oil just sitting in it that I'm going to drain anyway. Put some oil in it, let it run, well, I don't know, maybe do 50 miles on that oil or something like that, drain it, and then put some kind of a good oil in it. I haven't decided yet. Might be Valvoline VR1, I think. Might run VR1. It's pretty available at the local AutoZone, or, yeah, AutoZone. So, yeah, we have to do that just for a little bit, because we want the Megasquirt 2 in here so we can use this big boy, you know, and upgrade the fuel system and everything. I think I'm going to upgrade the fuel system on the Megasquirt 1's in here, so we know that's all good. Leave the injectors in until then. So we got 2400cc injectors for it. We only got 1000s right now, but, you know, we can make close to like 500 horsepower on the old setup. and I don't know how the gearing will be with it or anything. So if it's, if I can't leave the line, with no launch control, you know what I mean, I'm dead in the water with this turbo. But the 5431 just lights up real quick, and it should still do that with this turbo, or with this gear ratio. I don't see why not. We will see. And this will keep the motor pretty safe, because when I rev this to 7,000, 7,200 is the final hard rev, so it'll keep it alive pretty good. Good break-in. That's what I'm saying, a good break-in. So that's what we're trying to do. Get it going this weekend so we can drive it all next week, get it broke in, and then get racing next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We're trying to get racing, so I'll end the video here and pick back up when we got more done. Figured I'd give you guys an update.
Well, we finally got our 20 likes on our video. Hope you guys like the update. More coming soon.